Hello everyone, welcome to Gora Studies. In this video, I am going to discuss about builder design pattern. So what is builder design pattern? The builder design pattern is one of the creational design pattern that is basically used to construct complex objects step by step. In other way, we can say builder design pattern is useful when we are dealing with objects that have a large number of optional parameters. So what does it mean? Let me explain it. So suppose you are going to a computer shop to buy a computer, okay, and you have some specification for your computer, some of the the mandatory parts that we require like motherboard, then some storage like hard disks and RAM. These are the mandatory parts that we need. Okay, so suppose you are the person one. Another person is going to the computer shop to buy a computer, okay, and he has some specification like that motherboard is required, hard disk is also required, RAM is also required, but this guy needs extra SSD and graphics card. Okay, another person 3, also going to the computer shop and needs to buy a computer having the configuration like motherboard, hard disks, RAM. He does not need SSD, he needs graphics card and suppose DVD writer. Okay, so for each person here you can see the specification is different. Okay, but so they are building a computer, but the specification is different. Okay, now suppose here computer is a class. Okay, suppose computer is a class, so class computer. So now let's see here for the first person. Okay, for the first person, when this first person, okay, creates the computer object, then he needs a constructor. Okay, a constructor having these three parameters. Okay, so constructor computer having motherboard, hard disks and RAM. Okay, when the person to creates the computer object, then he needs a constructor having the parameter motherboard, hard disk, RAM, SSD and graphics card. And third person, when he going to create object of this computer, then he needs a constructor having this parameter hard disk, RAM, graphics card and DVD writer. Okay, so here you can see we need to create these three constructor. Okay, or else we need to create a single constructor. We need to create a single constructor having all the parameters. Okay, all the parameters. Okay, so in that case, if you create a single constructor, then you need to remember the sequence of the parameter. Okay, suppose for person 3 here you can see this person is not using SSD, it's not required SSD. So in that case for ssd we need to pass null value. Okay, so when the number of parameter is less, then it is easy to remember. But suppose you have 20 plus optional parameters, then it is really very difficult to remember the sequence of the parameters. Okay, or else if you don't want to remember, okay, then you need to create multiple constructor, okay, having different parameters. So in that case, if you have 20 plus optional parameter, then you have to create 20 plus the constructor. That is also a difficult, even that is not a good practice. And this is also very difficult to remember all the the sequence for all the parameters. Okay, so to resolve these problems, okay, so resolve these two problems, basically the builder design pattern comes into the picture. Okay, so how the builder design pattern helping us here, how the builder design pattern is resolving these issues. Okay, let's see. Okay, so suppose this is our computer class. So let me take the class computer. Okay, so here in this class we need to you know define all the variables like hard disks, motherboard, ssd, ram, graphics card, dvd writer. Okay, all these we need to you know need to define here. Okay, now basically we need to you know specify a builder class. That class will create the object of this computer class. Okay, so first we need to make the constructor as private, okay, for this class. Okay, so this is the private constructor. So if this constructor is private, then the client code will not able to access this constructor. Okay, so for that we need to create a builder class, and that should be an inner class of this class. Okay, now inside this builder class, what we need to do, we need to specify all these variables, and also we need to create the setter of this variable, because we are going to set all the values, okay, here in this builder class. We are not going to set the values here in this computer class. So we don't require any setter of these variables here in this computer class. We need only the getters, because we need to get the values from here. Okay, and we need to set the value here in the builder class, so that here what we need to do, here we need to use the method chaining. We need to use the method chaining. Okay, so in the method chaining, what will happen, every setter method will return the object of builder class. Okay, and this constructor is private. Okay, so the client, then how the client in client code will create the object of this computer object. So in that case, we need to specify here a class, okay, a public, sorry, a method, public method, okay, public method, like it's a like name of the method I'm giving here, it's a build method. Okay, so public build method I'm giving here, public method. Okay, and inside this method we need to call this constructor, we need to call the constructor and create the object, and we return that object. Okay, so finally you can see that the, okay, we can set all the values of the variables here in this builder class, and finally we can call this build method. Okay, build method. This method will create the object of computer class and return to the client code. Okay, now let me show you in the code so that you can understand, okay, clearly. So here, this is my IntelliJ. So let me first create a class, the computer class that we discussed already. Okay, so let me create the class, giving the name computer. Okay, and here I'm taking all this, the variables. Then hard disk, and then motherboard. Okay, and graphics card. Okay, graphics card. Okay, then the, SSD, private string SSD, and I'm taking another one, DVD writer. Okay, DVD writer. Okay, and now I'm making the constructor as private. Okay, I'm making constructor as private. So private computer, and that's it. Okay, and as we are not setting any value here in this computer class, we are just, okay, we need to create only the getter of this, you know uh, of these variables. So I'm just creating the getter of these variables here. Okay, generate only the getter. I'm selecting all, and okay, so okay, the cursor position was wrong. Okay, okay, so all the getters are ready. Okay, and what's the next step then? Now we are going to create the, the builder class. Okay, and that should be an, you know uh, inner class. Okay, so we're going to create a inner class. Okay, and that class should be a static class, so that when we need to access that class, we don't need to create the object of that class. Okay, so now so static class, I'm giving the name computer builder. Okay, computer builder. This is the builder class, computer builder. Fine. And here also I'm going to specify all this variable. Okay, and we'll create the setter now. We'll create the setter now here only. Okay, we'll create the setter only. Correct. Okay, setter only. Okay, let me create the setter then. So generate setter, select all, setter. Okay, now here we need to use the method chaining. So every method will, every method will return the object of this computer builder class. Okay, so in that case it will return the computer builder class, uh, builder object. Okay, return the object of this class, and here we are setting this value, the HDD value, okay, to this field, the disk field, and finally this will return return the class of this object. So just if you return this, it will return the object of this class. The same things we need to do for all the setter method. Okay, all the setter method. Okay, and then return. So in that case, I'm explaining you that, just let me complete it. Okay, fine. Now here you can see what happened. Oh, we forgot here. Okay, okay. So when you set RAM, okay, value of RAM, okay, then what will happen? It will set, it will assign this value to here in this variable of this builder class, and it will return the builder object. So that if you are not going to pass any other values, then also it is creating the object of this computer, the computer builder class. Okay, correct. Okay, fine. Now let me show you here. Okay, so for this class, okay, I need to create the constructor also, and that constructor should be the public one. Okay, public ones, because we need to access this constructor from the client code. Okay, so public and computer builder, that is fine, that is fine. Okay, and another method we need to you know uh, specify here, we need to define here, that is also a public method, and inside that public method we need to create the computer object. Okay, we need to call the constructor of computer class, because we can't call this constructor from outside, because this constructor is private. So from here, from the inner class, we can call this constructor. Okay, so the name is I'm telling you the return type should be the computer of object of computer class, and I'm giving you the name build. Okay, because this method will build the object. Now I'm calling the constructor computer equal to new computer. Fine, and it will return return computer object, computer object. And when we are the calling this constructor, we need to pass the object of computer builder, because in this builder class we are setting all the values, okay, for all the variable of this. Okay, so we are setting the values for all these variables here, so we need to pass this object of this class. So if I pass this, okay, then it is okay, we are passing the object of this class. Now what we need to do here, we need to change one thing, we need to add a parameter. It will accept the parameter of builder computer builder computer builder. Now we have this object, okay, and in this object we already set all the values. Now what we need to do, we need to set, okay, all we need to take the values from computer builder and set here. Okay, need to set here, and finally after setting we need to call you know the build method, so that the build method will create the computer object. Okay, now let me set here. So we can do this dot graphics card equal to computer builder dot graphics card, this dot hard disk equal to dot, where is the computer builder dot hard disk. Okay, this dot ssd equal to dot SSD. Get this dot motherboard equal to computer builder dot oh, builder dot motherboard. Okay, now this dot what is that? RAM is still okay. RAM, then computer builder dot RAM, and we have the DVD writer. That's DVD writer equal to computer builder dot DVD writer. Okay, so we are setting all the values here. Okay, so now what we need to do? Now we will try to create the object of computer class in our client code. Okay, so let's create another class here. So here new class, I'm giving the main class, I'm giving the name main. Okay, fine. Now writing the main class, I'm taking the main class. Okay, and here we are creating the computer object. Okay, before that what we need to do? So computer object computer equal to, okay, what you need to do here? New, okay, computer dot computer builder. Okay, computer builder, computer dot computer builder. Okay, now we need to set all the values here. Set HDD. Okay, like I'm giving some value like 1 TB, then dot set SSD, I'm giving 500 GB, and dot set motherboard, I'm giving some name like some gigabyte motherboard. Gigabyte, I'm giving some name of the company only. Motherboard. Okay, let me give you the exact motherboard name, B650E. B650E. Now I'm setting RAM. Okay, we need RAM. Set RAM, and I'm giving some value here, 32 GB. Okay, okay, fine. And the graphics card, I'm setting the graphics card. Okay, graphics card, and I'm giving some Intel graphics card. Okay, okay, fine. We are not going to set the DVD writer. Okay, because this is the, here you can see now that without DVD writer also, okay, it will create the object. Okay, it will automatically take the value of DVD, the DVD writer. Okay, now I'm calling the build method. Okay, now let's see, print the object, system.out println and computer object. Okay, before that, okay, let me override the toString method so you can see the string format of this object. Okay, so let me override the toString method, generate toString method. Okay, fine, this is the toString method. Now let me call, let me run this, the class. So okay, so here you can see that this is printing the computer object having the value, and here you can see the divider writer value is null. Okay, so if you are not passing any value, then also the object is getting created. Even we don't need to remember the sequence of the parameters. Okay, anywhere you can the set the any position you can set the the values. Like first we are setting a hard disk. You can set the value of RAM in the first position. It will not affect to create your object. Also, if you go there, we are just creating one the constructor here, so we don't need to create the multiple constructor here. Okay, so now I think you understood that how builder design pattern is helping to resolve the problems. Okay, so by using the builder design pattern we can avoid, okay, to create multiple constructor, and also we don't need to remember the sequence of the parameters when we have large number of optional parameters. Okay, so that's it in this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.